We are thrilled that the court saw the seriousness and the urgency of the complaints and request for a temporary restraining order.
President Trump's executive order stopping children of non-U.S. citizens from obtaining citizenship through birth is on pause. The ruling came from a federal court in Washington in a lawsuit filed by attorneys general in Washington, Oregon, Arizona, and Illinois.
A number of other states have filed similar suits in other federal courts. Katu's Christina Giardinelli is here to break down what comes next. And Christina, Trump's vowed to push forward with that order. What options does he really have here?
Yeah, Trump said he will appeal, but it's unclear whether he is referring to the temporary restraining order, which an expert tells me would be a pretty hard appeal. It's more likely that the appeal comes after a judgment is reached in the case, which could take months or even years. Washington Attorney General Nick Brown celebrating a win in federal court Thursday.
The judge issued a temporary restraining order directing the United States government to take no further action.
The ruling puts a brief pause on Trump's executive order blocking non-citizens' children from obtaining U.S. citizenship when born here. The pause is meant to stop any adverse consequences of Trump's order while court proceedings are ongoing. Brown was joined in his lawsuit by attorneys general in Arizona, Illinois, and Oregon's Attorney General Dan Rayfield.
The biggest issue here is when you allow any president, a Democratic or a Republican president with the stroke of a pen, to change the way our Constitution is interpreted, that's an incredibly big problem.
Trump vows to push his order forward.
Obviously, we'll appeal it. They put it before a certain judge in Seattle, I guess, right? And there's no surprises with that judge.
It's unclear what appeal process Trump is referring to, but Tung Yin, a Lewis and Clark law professor, says getting the short pause removed is unlikely.
So one possibility they can argue for is that the TRO should be lifted, which I think is very unlikely to occur.
The Trump administration would have another chance to argue against a pause on his order once the temporary restraining order expires.
Second option is, okay, well, let the TRO expire, and when the plaintiffs ask for a preliminary injunction, fight that.
Yin explains that a preliminary injunction would last a lot longer and could hold up the order for months or even years.
If the district judge decides that, yes, this order is unconstitutional, then the district judge would issue a permanent injunction.
The Trump administration would likely appeal that decision at the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Trump could try narrowing the scope of his executive order to try and get it passed. It would likely still be challenged in court. And this is what former President Joe Biden did when his student loan forgiveness order got held up in court. But even after narrowing its scope, it still ultimately got struck down. We'll continue following this, but for now, back to you guys.
Okay, Christina, thank you.